I'd like to welcome now to this stage Dr. Rana, Sabra, founder of Creative Minds Worldwide. Welcome. Abeer, Alessa, co-founder and CEO of the Bold Group. And your moderator, the fabulous Claudine Coletti, our managing editor here at Forbes Middle East. Over to you, Claudine. Sure. You can turn it on, yes. Thank you so much, Sally. Welcome, ladies. It's such a pleasure to meet you. Can we begin today, starting with you? If you can just tell us a little bit about your organization, what you do, and how you're working to kind of empower women through collaboration.
So the company is Creative Minds Worldwide. It's based in Scottsdale, Arizona. And we're a marketing agency that works with women-owned businesses. We've done a lot of initiatives, but the recent initiative that we have is working with female entrepreneurs from Lebanon who were affected by the war. And we took 25 women. We are completely doing the 90 days. So it's 3 months of full intensive to help those women rebuild their business. And they all pledged that they will be giving back to the community, to the displaced families, and they choose how much percentage of their profits. And as I was telling some of the ladies here, the stories of those women humble us. The stories of those women who have lost everything and now starting from scratch, and still they show up every Friday at 10 a.m. Arizona time to make a difference in their lives and the lives of their children and the lives, because they all own or used to own small businesses. So it's not just their family, it's also the family of the people who work with them. So that's mainly the main concept of the ripple effect we have right now.
That's incredible. So those are the women affected by the very, very recent events.
So for this cohort, for this year, yes. This cohort is only the Lebanese women who were impacted by the war. 2025, we're taking on another 20. So it was supposed to be 16 women. But we had a lot of applications, so we ended up taking all 25. Next year, it's going to be 25 women as well. But next 2025, it's going to be global women from all over the world. Any woman who is struggling with something, went through something, has a business, or wants to start a business and shows through the application that she has what it takes and pledges that she's going to give back to her community, she's going to be part of our program. And our program goes over all of the marketing, branding, creating customer journey, experiences, all of that.
Oh, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Abeer, tell us about the Bold Company.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you for having me today. So my name is Abeer Alessa. I am the co-founder and CEO of the Bold Group. We're in a very similar industry, Dr. Rana and I. The Bold Group started 13 years ago, in 2011 to be specific. And it started off as a creative boutique, 2 people with 1 single iMac. And 13 years later, as we are today, the Bold Group consists of 7 agencies under the group. Each agency is specialized in a niche specification within the creative and communications industry. We consist of 140 people. And we have 2 offices, one in Riyadh headquartered, and the other office is in Egypt. So as I was saying, the Bold Group started as a small company and now grew to this group of companies. And sometimes, it feels like a dream. It doesn't feel real. And I always question, how did I get here today? It feels unreal, to be honest. But what I want to say, just to reiterate on the subject of this panel, which is collaboration and the ripple effects of the collaboration, I truly believe that we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all the people that worked with us, that collaborated with us. And we truly believe in the homegrown talents that we have. So what we do is we try to graduate these amazing talents to become the future leaders and to partner with a group with opening and partnering with new ventures and new agencies. So we call them the entrepreneurs within the organization.
That's amazing. I love that you're both working in such creative industries and marketing, because to create collaboration, I actually think that's one of our strengths as women, right? It's talking, communicating, and being very creative with each other. So, Rana, in your experience, what do you think are the most effective ways to build bridges between the diverse communities and collaborations?
So the most important thing is to understand that we are all humans. So no matter where you are, because I've worked with clients and students, I'm a university professor as well, from all parts of the world. I teach the same curriculum, the same book, both in the US and in the Middle East. And I came to a realization that we're all the same. We have the same needs, we have the same fears, and we have the same dreams. But what differs is, how do we express those? How much access do we have to resources? And what's the environment around us? Because even companies, they have the same issues. All of the companies around the world want to increase their sale, lower their cost, and speed up their innovation. So once we understand that there is all of that in common between us and start any conversation by focusing on what's in common, you've taken away all of the barriers. Because now we all have the same fear. So we're all working together to how can we solve this problem. It's no longer me and them. It's us. So that's the first thing that we do. And the second thing is, I'm always encouraging women, and I always say women because we focus on women, to look for collaborations outside their comfort zone. Because if I'm going to collaborate just with somebody who's with the same cultural background, same industry, where's the challenge in that? If we are to collaborate, great things are going to come up. But if I'm going to collaborate with somebody in the pharma industry, I'm going to come up with way different ideas because they see things in a different perspective. And I can contribute to their industry and they can contribute to mine. And the same thing for the culture. So the more we look for diversity and outside the comfort zone, that's where the magic is going to happen.
I love that. So it's, finding strengths together by, focusing on what brings us together rather than what separates us. Love it. Thank you. And Abeer, so what strategies do you believe are key to kind of scaling the successful collaborations and creating a kind of broader long-term impact?
Well, first of all, I think that collaboration, the key word of collaboration is empowerment. And you really have to trust and empower the person in front of you, whether male or female, fresh grad, different ethnicities and backgrounds. So I think the key word here is empowerment. Now, I believe, especially right now in Saudi Arabia, we have great opportunities for collaborations. First of all, we have the international events that has the collaborations, such as the Expo 2030. We have the World Cup 2034. And I believe these will be great platforms for people to collaborate. And in addition to that, the Vision 2030, whatever the ripple effect of the Vision 2030, and to be in specific, the Ministry of Culture, they have a bigger mandate, right? The Ministry of Culture. But how can they make that happen? Is through collaborations with startup businesses, through other creative minds, through other artists. Like probably many of you have seen what's happening in Al Ula, with the art exhibition that's happening in Al Ula. And it happens through collaboration. I believe that our industry, the creative industry, the core is collaboration. You cannot deliver anything that is creative completely alone. And I remember during COVID days, all the offices and, this is an old subject, but all the offices and all the companies wanted to work online and, they're trying to push for online, cutting costs, etc. I believe that, being creative, you have to be there physically. You have to talk. You have to brainstorm. You have to bounce ideas. So I believe this is a very important point on collaboration. I believe another opportunity is through the digital today that we have. Digital platforms is enabling us with limitless opportunities of collaborations to show your work, to show your portfolio, to engage, to collaborate. In Saudi Arabia, for example, we have the internet penetration is almost 95%, and that's very high. We have a very young population. So I believe throughout all these channels, whether, with the international events such as the Expo and World Cup, whether through, working under the Vision 2030 and these new ventures like the Ministry of Culture, through the online and the internet penetration and exposure, I believe there's a lot of opportunities for collaboration, and in specific for the creative minds and creative people.
So you used a very important word there, empowerment. We're all about empowerment here at the Women's Summit, obviously. How do you ensure that the communities and the people that you work with feel empowered and part of the process?
I think, at least I'm going to say what works for me. See, I don't know. I don't think there's a rule of thumb. I'll just give you from my experience. We have a saying in Arabic. I don't know how many people are sitting here there speaks Arabic. We always say لا تبخل بقيمة الحلوة. Always say something good. Say something positive. When somebody does something good, say it's good. Say it's nice. Always, give that positive empowerment, positive words. When somebody that does something good, say it's good. Say it's incredible. So always make sure that, you deliver the people around you and working with you. Bonuses are great, for example. But I believe what really makes a difference is and more powerful, and what people around you are looking for are not financial compensations. They're looking for something that really makes them feel better, that really empowers them, that gives them a purpose every day to wake up in the morning and go to the office and do something great, and and challenge the status quo, if you may. So I don't believe that people get empowered and just by financial compensations or business deals or any of that. Just stay positive always with your team. Compliment.
Money's not the answer to everything.
Absolutely.
I completely agree. I think positive kind of affirmations for other people or even for yourself, it brings strength and definite sense of empowerment to everyone. So Rana, back to you. So obviously the people you're dealing with, especially now, I can only imagine the kind of challenges that these women have been through and are going through. So what role do you think that this kind of collective effort is playing in facing those challenges in particular? And how do you ensure that these incredible individuals that you're dealing with all feel like they have an empowered voice in the process that they're going through with you?
So walking the talk. So I think that what I've been doing is authenticity. And it's not like waking up and putting makeup while I'm live on TikTok. It's great if somebody does that. I don't have the courage to do that. But authenticity, as in when I publicly went on my TEDx and said more than one time, talked about being an immigrant, talked about the struggle with infertility, talked about the struggle of building a community in a country that I'm new to, that allowed other women to speak up. They didn't speak up about just the same topics that I talked about, but it gave them the space that is safe to say, okay, I'm struggling with that too. So in those communities that we have, there's no fake it till you make it. Because once you're constantly trying to fake it, then you're constantly holding that burden of, I need to figure it all on my own. While when you're authentic and you say, okay, you know what, I'm vulnerable, I'm struggling with this, then you will have people to help you with it. But at the same time, we also have to celebrate wins. So every time we get on a call and I feel like that the energy is not right, the women need a little bit of more boost, and I go, okay, start with one thing that you want to celebrate this week, no matter how big or small. Maybe that win is I woke up today and I turned on my Zoom and I'm on this call. And then start with one struggle. Because when you give them that space to celebrate themselves, they're allowing other women to borrow their belief in themselves. Because I'm going to say, okay, you know what? If she was able to make it, I'm going to be able to make it too. And I'm also, when you are also sharing with me your struggle, you're allowing me the safe space to say, hey, I saw that you made this. How did you do it? Can you help me? And that's how we create the ripple effect, by getting those women to talk to each other without putting those walls of who's better and competition. We're all going for the same goal. We all have the same needs. Let's just be real about it, keeping it so real. So that's the main way for us to support our community.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'd just like to ask you both one more question because, we've talked about empowerment and collaboration. We're here in a room full of absolutely incredible women. What's the one kind of key piece of advice that you would give everyone here to kind of be better bonded, to be better collaborators?
Just give it your all. I mean, can I, 1 second? I just want to acknowledge that I have 2 of my students who graduated my alumni, 10 years ago, maybe, or 7 years ago, and they showed up, surprising me, both of them. Well, congrats. And that's because when we are in class, I encourage them to give it their all, and I give it my all. So we're no longer a faculty and student. We become one big community.
That is empowerment in action and collaboration in action there. Well done, Hakim. And so, going back, how can we all be better collaborators?
How can we be better collaborators? I think if we take a step back, I think to be a better collaborator, you have to start with the core, which is doing what you love and loving what you do. As much as it sounds like a cliche, but I think if you have that in whatever you're doing, you'll be able to do magic. And collaboration is just one of those things. So I believe that's the secret recipe to any successful story.
Wonderful. That's an excellent note to be going on. Thank you so much. It was so fantastic to meet you. Thank you.
خلال كل تتحفظ سبيل بجدية شخصية بارزة في العالم الموضوع حيث تبتلي بروكيا كليدة تعطي شربها وتعب والتي بيئة الذية بالتقدير والتقاطع يتم التلبي اتفق سبيل طول الريب الجيرة رجعتي على النتيجة للدون قطع كلاريها